Hello, Dan John again, danjohn.net. Hey, at our gym, we break the fundamental human movements down into what we call the basic 5, and then this odd one called the 6th movement. You know, it's push, pull, hinge, squat, loaded carries. Loaded carries are things like farmer walks and, prowlers and any kind of weighted carry of any kind. The interesting thing is this, people ask me sometimes, why don't I have vertical push, horizontal push, vertical pull, horizontal pull? Trust me, as you attack training and programming, the order is written this way, but the importance goes this way. The most important thing you do is the 6th movement, I think, for most people. That's any kind of groundwork. You could do Turkish get-ups, you could do tumbling, which is a good answer, bear crawls, that whole crawling family that's been very popular recently. If you're not getting up and down off the ground, you're really missing a lot from your training. A good friend of mine is a strength coach in the NFL, just emailed me about how he used a very simple assessment, we call it the Get Back Up, and he discovered that these kids he was working with, the kids were gymnasts, they thought it was a waste of time. The kids who played sports where they sit on a bench a lot of time thought it was the hardest thing they ever did. So if you're missing groundwork, you're missing everything. The second most important thing you do, this is the game changer in my athletic career, is the loaded carry. Farmer walks rejuvenated my career. From then, of course, it'd be squats, an authentic squat like the goblet squat, something you go deep, something you're strong in, you can hold up. And then, of course, the big hinge family. The hinge is the most powerful thing you can do in the human body. I would suggest measuring your hinge throughout your lifetime with the standing long jump. If you can't jump your body height, I think standing long jump, how tall you are, I think you got an issue of some kind. And then, of course, for most American males, you don't do enough pulls. And then the least important thing most people do is push. Especially the North American athlete, we do so much pushing, push-ups, bench press, the whole press family, but we don't ever get everything else. So when you're looking at your program, put this list down. Check your sets and reps, count them all up, and to see how balanced you are. I suggest this first, that your push, your pull, and your squat numbers should all be about the same. And then the next thing you do is just count up the total number of times, like in a week, you do any kind of groundwork. And then I would count up the total kind of variations you do with loaded carries. Hinge is a tough one to always measure because a 700-pound deadlift and 250 swings with the 24 kilo, they're both hinges, but they're real hard to balance about which one, the volume or intensity question. So what I want to leave you with is this. When you look at your training, when you look at your clients' training, when you look at your athletes' training, how much groundwork are they doing? How much loaded carries? How much deep squatting? If you nail those 3, you have a good program. I'm Dan John, danjohn.net. See you tomorrow.